Hello and welcome. In this video, we will write a shopping cart program as an exercise. Okay. I will run the program now and show you the expected result and then proceed to writing the program. Okay. When we run the program, it has to ask the user to enter a food item to buy. Okay. And when the user enters a food item and hits the enter key on the keyboard, it has to ask the user to enter the price of the entered food item. Okay. And when the user enters the price of the entered food item, it has to ask the user to enter the next food item to buy. Okay. And after that, it has to ask the price and so on. Okay. If the user wants to stop buying or if the user wants to quit, then he has to press Q and then hit enter on the keyboard. And when he quits, it has to display the food items that the user has entered and the total price of the food items. Alright. So this is what the program must do. Okay. So let us start writing the program. Alright. So in this program, we will have two lists. Okay. One by the name of foods and another by the name of prices. Okay. Both the lists are empty. We will declare them now but use them later. Okay. And then I will have a variable by the name total and I will set the value of the variable to be 0. Okay. The reason that I am not using tuples is that tuples are unchangeable. Okay. We will be asking a user what item they would like to buy. And when they give an answer, we cannot append any elements to a tuple. Okay. We can use sets, but then sets are unordered. I want the items to be ordered. And so I have selected lists here. Okay. Now I will have a while loop. I will say while true. Okay. Whenever we say while true, it creates an infinite loop. So the code inside this while loop will keep executing repeatedly forever unless a break statement is encountered. Okay. So we will need to have a break statement somewhere. Okay. We will get to that later. And inside this while loop, I will ask the user to enter a food item that he wants to buy. Okay. And I will store whatever the user enters in this variable food. Alright. Now, if the user doesn't want to buy anything, then he will have to press Q to quit. Yes. Next, I will have an if condition. I will say if food is equal to Q, then what should we do? We need to break, meaning we need to come out of the while loop. Okay. Meaning if the user enters the letter Q, then the while loop will end. Okay, it will come out of the while loop. All right, so let me run this and check it's working. When I run the program, it asks me to enter a food to buy. I will enter eggs and hit enter. It will ask me again and I will say wheat and I will say bread, and then when I enter Q and hit the enter key on the keyboard, the while loop exits. Okay, it is working fine. Let me close this now. Now let me check something else. I will run the program once again. It asks me to enter a food to buy. I will say eggs and hit enter. Now I will type capital Q and then hit enter. Now what has happened here is capital Q has been considered as a food that we want to buy. Okay, in reality the while loop should have exited, but the Q here has been considered as a food item, and this is because we have small letter q here and we have entered capital Q here. Okay, so we want this to accept both capital meaning uppercase and also lowercase q. Okay, so I will hit small q and hit enter and it comes out of the loop. Now here I will use the lower method to temporarily make the user input to lowercase, just in case if the user enters capital Q. Alright, so this will take the input from the user and make it into lowercase, and this is just for comparison. Okay, now let us try this out. I will enter bread and I will type capital Q and the program comes out of the while loop. Alright, so it is working fine. Now what if the person doesn't want to quit? For this we will have to add an else statement. Okay, else let us take our foods, okay, which is this, and then let us use the append method and append food, okay, whatever the user enters. All right, next we will also need a price, so let us ask the user for the price. So here I will create one more variable by the name price and I will typecast it to float because the price may have decimal value, and here I will say input and then I will use an F string and then say enter the price of food. Okay, and here I will have colon and a space, and now I will paste the rupee symbol here. Okay, I have copied this symbol before itself and now I am pasting it here. All right, and after this we will append the price to this list. Okay, so we will use append method and we will append the price. All right, let us now run the program and see if it is working properly. I will enter bread and it says enter the price of the bread. I will enter 30 rupees and it says enter a food to buy. I will say eggs and I will enter 8 rupees and so on. So it is working fine. Okay. Now let me close this. Outside of the while loop, let us display our shopping cart. Okay. First, let us print some decorative text. So I will say dash 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 your cart. Okay. And then I will have a few more dashes. All right. And now we will iterate over all the elements found within this foods list and display the food items that the user has selected. Okay. So here I will say for food in foods and here print food. Okay. So this will print out all the food items that the user has selected. Okay. Next, we will iterate and add up all the prices. Okay. So we will say for price in prices, and here we will say total, which is initially equal to 0. Okay. Total equal to total plus price. All right. After this, we will display the total. Okay. So I will say your total is, and then the rupee symbol and total. Okay. So yes, this is the program. Let me run this and check if it works fine. Here I will say bread and enter 30 rupees. I will say eggs and I will enter 8 rupees. I will enter jam and enter 100 rupees. And after this, I will hit Q. Okay. So it displays the shopping cart. When I hit enter after typing Q, okay, it displays the shopping cart and then it says your total is 138 rupees. Okay. So this is working fine. All right. And so this is our program for the shopping cart.